Yaate habine. This is Matt speaking from Access Navajo. Today I'd like to show you the basics on how to play the game accompanying Book 1, Sisnaajiní, in our Fun with Navajo Verbs series. The game is available free of charge. You can download it from our website at www.accessnavajo.com. And before you download the game, you're going to also want to install a Java runtime environment. Sometimes you can get that inside the Java SE or Java Standard Edition. That is also available free of charge at www.java.com. If you're not comfortable doing this kind of thing, you can just get a nephew or a niece or son or daughter. Any of the kids nowadays who know just about everything about computers can do it for you probably in 5 to 10 minutes. Once you've installed Java, downloaded the game, and got it up and running, you'll see a screen similar to the one that's in front of us right now. This is a conjugation game. Now in the big box in the middle here, you'll see that you have verbs going from verb 1, and we can use the scroll bar here to go all the way down, all the way to verb 125. So these are the 125 verbs that are found in book 1. You can come through and select a specific verb to work with. Let's grab one that everybody's going to be familiar with. Let's see here. Here's to work. Naalnish. Now naalnish is the third person singular of the imperfective mode. That's how you'll find it in the verb book. It's listed under the third person, not the first person. You'll see that these verbs are represented in different modes here. So you've got a future mode, imperfective mode, perfective mode, usative mode, iterative mode, and optative mode. So FIPURO. And in some cases, there's even going to be a G mode or progressive mode for certain verbs. Now for naalnish, the progressive mode is not normally used, so we didn't include it here. You can pick a mode. So let's take, for instance, the P mode, and I'm going to click on it directly. When I do that, you'll see that 12 verb forms have appeared down below. Now I can keep clicking and it just shuffles those forms. You only need to click once. I'm just showing you what can be done here. And then our job as a player is to come in and to take a mode, a form in this mode, and put it in a certain position down below. You do that by looking at the row and the column. You have a sh, first person row, n, second person row, b, third person row, ho, fourth person row, and then the columns are ta'asla'igo, singular, nakigo, dual, and ta'doba'an, plural. So let's take these forms and let's bring them down below. And it is possible, for instance, to click on a form that comes twice. You can just click twice here. Just remember that it's going to also be somewhere else up above. Nishish, nish, go here. Dash, nish will go here. Nidashol, nish, go here. All right, and nidajish, nish. Now we have nishinil nish and nishol nish. Let's get these two backwards on purpose, just so I can show you what happens when you get a wrong answer. All right, we've got all the boxes filled in. We can now click on check results. You'll see that almost all the boxes have come out green, which is good. 2 have come out pink with heavy black lines around them, and that's to indicate that those are not the answers that were expected in those spots. If we want to know what was expected there, we just click on show answers, and now in blue with exclamation points here we have the expected answers. So that gives you a way of checking what you've done to see if you got it right or wrong. Now if we look at this carefully, we see that pretty close. We might want to try it again. We can either come back up here and click again here, or we can just come over to the na button and click on that, and it sets it back up. Same mode in the same verb. So this time around, let's go ahead and just put the forms in correctly, and watch me closely because I am really good at making mistakes at this thing, especially when I'm talking while I'm doing it. Navajo goes here, nish. That one goes there. Navajo nish. There's our fourth person, and nish. So we check them all, and we think we're ready. We can check our results. Boom, all green. Here's where things start to get interesting. Just for fun, let's click on another verb, very similar but different. Let's use nash or nalje, but let's use it in the perfective mode. So I'm going to click on that, and this time around, let's give ourselves a time limit. So I'm coming up here to the pick up pace button, and you can click through there to set 20, 25, 30, 40, 60, or 120 seconds. If you keep clicking, it comes back to no time limit, just cycles back around. So let's give ourselves 30 seconds or so and see if we can get all of these forms in a fresh verb here. We haven't practiced this one in 30 seconds. So what happens is I come here and I set it all up, and I just click on na, and now we're off, right? So I got to come through here, and I have to put these in. And remember, this one is not practiced. It's very similar to na and nish, but it is a different verb, and I have to be able to bring over the things that I learned just now from the first verb. So let's do this and see if we can get it. Nishilje and jish. Boom. Oh, almost made it. Very close. So you can set that time to whatever amount of time you want to give yourself. 30 seconds is about right for me if it's a verb I haven't been working on for a while. And you can really give yourself a challenge. Make it fun to work with the verb. Now, if you really feel like a challenge, instead of clicking on a mode yourself, you can let the software pick one at random for you. So the way we have it right now, we have it set up for 30 seconds on the timer. And if we click on the play button here, notice that we're at the P mode on verb 52. If we click on play, we're now on verb 42 P mode. That was random. And our time is counting down. So we have to look at this and see if we can come through here and assign these. I'm not doing very good here. Let's see. And let's get this one. No. This should be here. All right, so this is much harder because we had to come through and respond to whatever it gave us. So I only got a few forms. Now I can normally do much better than this. With practice, you'll get the hang of it. But we again can use the show answers here. So this is what the game was expecting from us, and then we can click back. That's what we got done. So this is much more challenging, and you have to be able to recognize the forms really quickly and get them in place. So for our own sanity, let's come up here, let's pick up the pace. So let's move it from 30 to 40 seconds, and let's take the same verb and the same mode and play it one more time, but with just a few more seconds. So let's click here and let's go for it. And let's put that there. See how many of these we can get this time correctly. Okay. Adzisi. That looks like a fourth person to me. Looks like a first person. That we already did. Asinisi goes there, and that leaves these two for the third person. Okay, now we can go ahead and click on check results before the timer gets to 0. That doesn't change anything. So this time around we did much better. We still didn't get it in 30 seconds. It took us 35 seconds. But you can see you can adjust the time you give yourself, depending on the familiarity you have with a certain, any specific verb. Part of what makes playing these games fun is that they're designed to allow you to kind of make a version that you like. So what I've done for me personally is I like to set the pickup pace to the shortest setting, 20 seconds, and then I'll just randomly choose 2 boxes. So let's say easy as pie here, the 2 boxes under easy as pie. And then what I do is I go play, I click on the play button so that I randomly get a new set of verbs, and I just grab these 2 and see if I can get them to come out correctly here. So I'm just guessing, but that's a future mode, right? So let's see what we got. Okay, so those 2 boxes gave me 30 points there. So you also have to recognize if a form is used multiple times when you play this way. We do it again, we get another verb, another mode. We look quickly at imperfective mode. So, oops, I'm sorry, over here. Olche is going to be where? Probably here. Da alche is going to be down here, and I don't think I have any extra spaces, so let's see what answers we get there. Those 2 are right, and I got 50. So that's just another way of playing. You can stick to these 2 and just keep on playing through. So we can do the same thing with this and the same thing with this. All right, let's check our results, and there we go. So that's another way you can play that gives you a chance to face some different pitches, some curveballs, some fastballs, some really interesting verbs can pop up, and you have to be able to respond really quickly because you set the time short. There are also additional functions that we won't be covering in today's video. The set skill level, so there's different skill levels here that you can use. There's also, you can add a player, so you can have player 1 playing against player 2, and then set things up whatever way you want for that. And then there's also a choose a lifetime, so you can have a certain amount of time, so it would be 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then you can play against that to see how many points you can get in that amount of time. I will probably do a future video on certain ways of doing that. Again, there is no hard and fast way you have to play. The idea is for you to tweak all these little things and come up with something that you like doing. Okay, I hope you have fun with this game. If you do, please let us know. And ahat insad bedane benanene do benenedlingo na jonego denebazad beholsh adolel. Have fun playing the game. Hakuane.